Billy gives Phyllis an ultimatum, and Holden wants something from Audra. At Crimson Lights, Daniel's hoping Tessa can help him. She understands he needs an emotional reset. Daniel doesn't have a choice if he wants to continue to function as a human being and a dad. Losing Heather for a while was hard enough, but forever. That's why he needs to find his way. I'm going to need a little bit of your time, a lot of your patience, and as much of your talent as you can spare. Tessa tries to puzzle this out until Daniel finally tells her he'd like her to teach him how to play the guitar. Tessa signs on. Daniel explains he's dabbled before. Tessa says, it is a commitment. She admits it could help him tune out the noise in his head, but guitar can also break his heart. The journey could be filled with frustration and disappointment. Daniel has already worried about disappointing his mother, Lucy, even Billy Abbott, who he doesn't care about. He's eager and wants to learn, fail, and get better. It's about moving in a forward direction and maybe learning some new things about himself. This could be the thing to get him unstuck creatively. Tessa smiles. I'm in. Tessa asks why Daniel doesn't do this with his dad. Daniel says it would be too much emotional honesty and probably tears with every chord. Tessa jokingly promises to be cold and distant. He says she's his first choice as a teacher. He has a guitar that he would break out every now and then with Heather. Tessa promises he'll always moving forward and maybe it will unstick him. That's what he needs. After a while, Daniel and Tessa reconvene on the patio with their guitars. She notices that his is expensive. He offers to trade her, but she explains that your guitar is your baby. You can't just swap. Daniel apologizes. He strums his guitar, and it sounds out of tune. Tessa will help. They start going over what strings, frets, and keys. She shows him how to hold his fingers on the strings, and he improves. Tessa plays a little as he watches. Big news. Amy and Damien arrive at Nate's place, and she makes her way to the sofa. Nate tells her she's glowing. She explains that Damien drove her around to see the places she used to work and live. Damien teases that she got him lost 3 or 4 times. Amy thanks her son for letting her show him part of her life. Damien says it was a good day. Nate smiles. He's glad they had this time together. He reveals he just got off the phone with Dr. Kelly and has an update on her treatment. Nate asks her some questions about her appetite. Amy says she had enough energy to console a dear friend of hers and to drive around with Damien. Are you going to tell me what the doctor said? Nate nods. Yes, ma'am. He says Dr. Kelly has been pleased with the updates she's been giving her. Her reaction so far makes her a perfect candidate for the treatment center in Boston. Damien says that's amazing. Amy gasps. I'm not sure what this means. Nate tells her, it means you have a chance. She cries on Damien's shoulder. Nate warns Amy and Damien not to get ahead of themselves. Amy worries about the cost. Damien will cover it and tells it just to worry about herself. She persists. This is pricey. Damien pleads with her to put that aside. Nate, call her and tell her yes. Amy repeats this. Nate tells her there's a spot open now, but she has to leave for Boston tonight. Amy protests about her time with Damien being cut short. Damien reminds her that if this works out, they'll have a lot more time together. Amy becomes emotional. You want to spend more time with me. Nate says it's her best shot. Amy cries about being away from both of them, and her sweet Audra. Between friends. At the club, Sally tells Audra about Phyllis hammering away at Billy and snarking at her. She complains that Billy's tying himself in knots to excuse her behavior and Phyllis is exploiting his sympathy for her own gain. Audra hears her and is on her side, but she's also wondering what about Phyllis threatens her so much. Sally protests. She's not threatened by Phyllis, just annoyed. Audra points out she's been through some dark stuff lately. Sally knows. She should be at a yoga retreat. Billy thinks Abbott Communications need her, but they don't. He doesn't. She's annoyed and nervous. Audra asks, but not threatened. She suggests Sally might be wondering if Phyllis is looking for more from Billy. Sally says he would never fall for her again. He would know better, wouldn't he? Audra assures Sally that Billy wouldn't fall for Phyllis again, she's too toxic. Suddenly, Holden appears at the table and gushes about springtime in Los Angeles, which gets real hot, real fast. Audra says that's why she's happier in Genoa City. He walks off, and Sally tells her friend she's brutal. The mood between them was tense. Audra finds his charm so boring. Sally prods about their past. You're holding back. What really happened between you two? Audra denies there's more to the story. It's ancient history, nothing worth discussing. Sally thinks it's obvious that Holden's feelings are very much in the present.